Welcome, guys. So this will be my first look at Phyrexia. All will be one. We're playing sealed. I'm gonna start with best of one. I like to play a few sealed deck events at the start of each set, but I try to alternate between best of one and best of three. But we'll start with these ones. You've got a bit of information here on the different sort of color combinations. So we've got artifacts, proliferate control, oil counters and sacrifice. There's quite a lot of poison in this set. We've got toxic aggro in green-white, which is very interesting. Corrupted is a mechanic that works if someone has 3 or more poison counters. Right, red-white we have Full Mirrored In, which is an equipment deck as well. Okay, let's go for it. Nice, I always like to see a land. Razor Verge Thicket. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. Okay, it's the opposite style of check land. Usually, I'm familiar with the ones which they're tapped in if it's in the first 3 lands or first couple of lands, and then it's untapped after that. We have 2 copies of Norn's Wellspring. So 2 mana artifact. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1 and put an oil counter on Norn's Wellspring. 1 untapped, remove 2 oil counters from Norn's Wellspring, draw a card. That seems pretty good. Okay, so well, if we want to play these, we need a deck with lots of creatures. Potentially even sacrifice effects, so I could kill my own creatures. And then this is a pretty good card draw mechanism. Plus, it's scrying and card draw. So for every 2 creatures that die, you're going to get 2 oil counters. You can remove those to draw a card. So yeah, scry 2 and draw for each 2 dead creatures. That could be quite good. What have we got here? Big artifact, 8 mana, Gra's Unstoppable Juggernaut, 7/5. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able, and can't be blocked by walls. So it's like a special type of Juggernaut. Other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3, and are Juggernauts in addition to their other creature types. I like that. So, yeah. It's a good topper for some kind of weenie deck or a token deck. Doesn't have trample though, but pretty good though. Red-black. Gethet Crucible Goliath for 4 mana. It's a 4/4 legendary Phyrexian beast. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value and put it on the battlefield. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So I think they call that a cascade effect, but it's triggered by sacrificing a creature in play. I think that could be quite good. This could be quite good with. I was talking about having a sacrifice outlet, Norn's Wellspring. All will be 1. 2 red and 3. This is what the set's named after, I think. So an enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, All will be 1 deals that much damage to target opponent, creature and opponent controls, or planeswalker and opponent controls. So had that "or" in there. I thought it was going to be you get to shoot all those things. So even if I'm putting oil counters on my own Norn's Wellspring, this is triggering. So I think this is fantastic. Some people might say, oh, it's a 5 mana do nothing card, but this gives you tremendous value if you're built around it. Just the ability to just ping all of his creatures off the board one by one is pretty powerful, I think, especially in limited. Right, I'm going to have I'm going to sort through my cards now. You may have heard of the BREAD acronym. I'll just explain it. It's so B stands for bombs. So, for example, the all will be one enchantment is an example of a bomb, something that just gives you value. I think, something that lets you draw an extra card every turn, something that lets you do direct damage repeatedly. And some cards that are just sort of, a 2-for-1 on the board, so they come into play, they kill another creature. I'd say that's a bomb as well. After B, we have R for removal, E for evasion, A for aggro. I usually interpret aggro as, a mana curve related decisions, right? So you want a decent number of 2-drops and 3-drops, right? And after A is D for Dross, so just filler. So again, that's kind of mana curve again, but aggro is more focused on 1, 2, and 3-drops, I suppose. The guideline for your mana curve in a 40-card deck is 2 1-drops, 7 2-drops, 6 3-drops, 4 4-drops, 3 5-drops, and 1 6+ drop. And so that tends to keep you on an even keel. You can deviate from that a bit. If you're playing a ramp deck, the mana curve's going to even out, so you have a few more big creatures. But we'll go through these cards and figure out where they stand. So Crawling Chorus, 1/1 for 1 with Toxic 1. So the other thing outside maybe of the bread system, you got to think about synergy. And in this set, there's a lot of token synergy going on. If we look at our rares and mythics, we might just add this to the deck straight away. That's red, so we'll add that. And that Juggernaut. So the Juggernaut means we want cheap creatures. We want to put tokens on things because it will be 1. Kefek's a sacrifice outlet, so it goes well with things like Norn's Wellspring. So maybe we can splash for this, but we'll see. So I think these are all playable. I think we skip the land probably. And we'll look at white first. So, and when this guy dies, you create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexia Might artifact with creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Okay. So that's quite good value. It fits in our mana curve and it contributes to our plan. It's making tokens, basically. Well, this is specifically counters. You should never try to not get counters and tokens confused. But when it dies, it's making a creature token when it hits somebody, it's giving them a poison counter. So that's what we're interested in. Right, Sinew Dancer. 1 mana. Tap target creature for 4 mana. Yeah, so this is a creature that behaves like a removal spell. It's quite expensive, but this is worth considering. So you can keep something tapped down for 4 mana every turn in the late game, and it gets cheaper if you're going for poison. So 2/2 first striker on your turn, and it has Toxic 1. This just seems like a good sort of aggro card, good sort of curve filler. Two one lifelink. Gets +1/+1 if you play an artifact. So this would be a good curve filler as well. But I think not as good as Duelist of Deep Faith, I think. Planar Disruption. Okay, this one's effectively like a pacifism, so enchant permanent can't attack or block. Activated abilities can't be activated, so that's very good. That's your removal card. Flensing Raptor, flying, toxic 1, 2/2 flyer. So this has got evasion. When it enters the battlefield, another target creature you control with toxic gets +1/+1 and gains flying till end of turn. Yeah, that's excellent in a toxic deck. Gold Warden's Helm, however, so this is an equipment. Oh, so 4 Mirrodin is a special keyword. When this equipment ends the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token and attach this to it. So this actually gives you a 2/3 creature. So that's not bad, and it's going to leave this artifact behind when it dies. It's not bad, but it's maybe not part of. It's not synergistic with our deck at the moment. We leave that out. Indoctrination Attendant has Toxic 1. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and drop the 2/1 lifelink, because it doesn't have Toxic, basically. So it's not quite what we want. So we have a 3/4 for 4 with Toxic 1. When it enters the battlefield, you may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexia with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. So you can actually get 2 creatures, and this can bouncing your own creature could be useful. So Flensing Raptor could get another enter the battlefield effect. And yes, any permanent you control, you could move your Planar Disruption onto something else. That could be pretty cool. Orthodoxy Enforcer. Vigilance is not bad, but if you're going for toxic, it obviously doesn't have toxic, so you might want to skip it. Basilica Shepherd, 3/3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 Phyrexia Mites. Awesome. That's great. So this is another equipment. 5 mana, and you'll get a 4/3 Vigilance, basically. Quite good, but for a different deck, I would say. I think we'll just look at the 3 colours. We'll look at white, red and black in detail, and then we'll skim over and blue and green. Because I think we definitely want to play all will be one. Okay, Whisper of the Dross. Target creature gets -1 until end of turn. Proliferate. It's not a -1/-1 counter, unfortunately. So it's not actually giving -2/-2. Proliferate is very good with all will be one. So it's a very weak removal card, but it is synergistic with our deck. So I think on that basis it's worth considering. That's probably the first card we drop though. Anoint with Affliction. Exile target creature if its mana is 3 or less corrupted. Exile that creature instead. If its controller has 3 or more poison counters. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused by this card, but I think it's just the wording. It should say exile target creature instead. So it's basically saying if they're corrupted, you can exile any creature with this. I think this is an excellent removal spell, and we're definitely playing this. And I'm just going to drop Whisper of the Dross. I can't see myself using this. Okay, Blightbelly Rat, toxic one, and it has proliferate when it dies. That's great. Necrogen Communion, enchantment, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has toxic 2. When it dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Okay. I like that. That could be very good on Basilica Shepherd, one of our more something that's got very powerful come into play effects. Offer Immortality. So this is a protection spell. It gives something Death Touch and indestructible. I think it's quite good, but you don't have to play it, I would say. We'll add it for now. Pestilent Syphoner, flying and toxic. 1/1. Yep. Goes with the theme. Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, I've seen this before. Somebody used this on me in Midweek Magic to kill my Hall of the Storm Giants. He had 2 mana left, and I thought, well, he can't kill. He's not going to be able to kill my Hall of the Storm Giants. It's got Ward 3, but yeah, it's instant speed Edict. Is it good though? Edicts are just not as good as proper removal cards. Your opponent gets to choose what they lose. So, but let's grab it. It's not like we're going to punish my opponent for having Planeswalkers. That's not going to happen very often. But there might be a few more Planeswalkers in this set. Bonepicker Scourge, another 2/2 flyer. It gets Death Touch and Lifelink if they've got 3 poison tokens. So this it's synergistic with poison, but it doesn't have poison itself. Maybe it's fine. Cutthroat Centurion. So this is a sacrifice outlet, which goes well with. Actually, no, it doesn't go well with Kethek. Kethek sacrifices stuff already. So yeah, it doesn't have toxic, so we can just skip it, really. Okay, this gives poison counter. Usually, yeah, so draw 2 and lose 2 life. It's something I usually skip because it feels like it's probably too slow. But might try that this time. Alright, Testament Bearer is reasonably good. It replaces itself when it dies. And you get to look at the top 3 cards as well. But yeah, it's not doing any of the poison counter things. Probably leave it out. You don't want too many 4-drops as well in the deck. It's a bit expensive. Okay, so tap land that you can sacrifice for a card. I think that's quite good. I think you'd definitely play that. Churning Reservoir. Beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature you control. So this is the oil strategy. This is another type of token. If we don't want to go white-black toxic, we could go red oil. So that's straight away pretty good. Getting a counter every single turn. For 2 mana you can tap it and make a Phyrexian Goblin. You only activate it if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn. Or a permanent with an oil counter on it was put into a graveyard this turn. So you need a way of eating up your oil tokens. It's sort of expensive to lose creatures. But yeah, that's potentially quite good. Free from Flesh. So this is a combat trick. +2/+2, and you get 2 counters with it. So it would be 2 damage with all will be 1. So it's worth considering. Furnace Skull Bomb. So you can sack it just for a card and it just replaces itself. Or you can use it for 2 oil counters and draw a card. Yeah, it costs 1 extra mana to do that. Okay, that seems good. Barbed Batterfist. Okay, so we get a this time we get a 3/1 rebel. So we skip that one. Through the possibility is the discard draw 2 card. This goes very well in a spells deck that sort of cares about instants and sorceries. And so it's good for pitching a land late game and replacing it. It is a bit cheaper than the other card draw card we've got, Infectious Inquiry, and it's instant speed. You do want to use your card draw at instant speed rather than having to tap lands in your turn. So it's potentially quite a good card draw. Worth considering. It's one I could definitely drop. Okay, so 3/3 Menace for 3. I think that is just that's a good set of stats. Even if everyone's going to have 2 basic lands in limited, I think that's just 3/3 Menace is just good enough stats to play Urabrask's Anointer. Okay, here we go. So, big payoff for oil counters. Enters the battlefield, deals X damage to any target where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. Very cool. Furnace Strider. So this comes into play with oil counters, and it can use them to give things haste. That's really good. 4/5 for 5 mana, but that's definitely quite good. Molten Rebuke, Distill. So this is the 5 damage removal spell. I don't always run these, but we might have to if we need some removal cards. So this has affinity for equipment, so it's cheaper the more equipment you have. Nice. So that's quite a nice payoff for the red-white aggro deck. Cinder / Ravager. This is 1 less to cast for each permanent you control with oil counters on it. Okay, that's another oil payoff. And when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's green. So yeah, it's looking like we've got some competing strategies. I think we'll have to look at green and see if we've got a good oil strategy here. So this starts with an oil counter. Evolving Adaptive. So this guy gets bigger and bigger as bigger creatures get onto the board. This reminds me of another card from a few sets ago. I think I forget what his name was. Pelt Collector, I think. Basically, this is Pelt Collector. Pretty good card. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, just search for a basic land if you need it. Or you've got Proliferate. Okay, good removal card. And it gives you a poison counter. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, it suggested the green-white deck as the poison deck. So green does poison and oil. So this gets 2 oil counters, so that's just pretty good. Removing an oil counter to pump something is sorcery speed. That's quite awkward. Still, sometimes you just want oil counters on the board, so that's good. Titanic Growth +4/+4. So it's a combat trick. It's not. It's just a combat trick. It's not particularly synergistic with anything. Carnivorous Canopy. Destroy artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying if that permanent's mana value is 3 or less, proliferate. Okay, I think that's quite neat. This has Death Touch and Toxic. We like that. Flash, enchant creature. And if that creature has Toxic, it gets hexproof till end of turn. Nice. So that's a protection spell for your toxic creatures. Expand the sphere. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom. If you put fewer than 2 lands onto the battlefield this way, proliferate a number of times equal to the difference. So if you whiff completely, this proliferates twice. But yeah, this is the sort of expensive ramp card that gets you from 4 land to 6 land. If you're really swinging for the fences with your big creatures. It's potentially we play this, but it's you need a good reason to play it, I think. Plague Nurse is Toxic 2, 3, 4. And they gain it, so you can gain an extra Toxic every turn on all your creatures for 3 mana. Seems good. Toxic 3. Yeah, that's a good card. 4/4 for 4 mana. Tyrannax Atrocity. Yeah, haste, Toxic 3. Pretty good. And we have the green-white land. Tainted Observer, flying Toxic 1. I think whilst we're at it, let's look at the blue cards as well. Nice, so you can just proliferate every time you play a creature. That seems good. I see, you get oil counters in blue as well. This one can scry 3 times basically. Okay, so it's 4 mana to bounce and draw a card at sorcery speed. Yeah, that might be fine. Okay, this doesn't particularly have much synergy. So this has synergy with artifacts. I guess blue cares about artifacts and oil. So this guy gets oil counters whenever you cast non-creature things. Okay. Each opponent gets a poison counter. Draw a card. Love it. Thrumming Bird proliferates whenever it deals combat damage. Okay. Okay, Chrome Prowler. I quite like this. So this just taps something down at instant speed. I think that's fine. And here we go. So this is the blue card draw. You just draw 2, but it could cost you 1 if you're poisoning people. Seems good. Okay, this gets 3 oil counters, and at instant speed you can give it +1, -1. Seems good. Okay, that's an artifact vehicle. So it can it's got 1 free activation with an oil counter. Okay, I'm on board with that. Quicksilver Fisher. So okay, this just draws and discards 4/3 flyer for 5. Yeah, it's an evasion creature, so pretty good. And then we've got draw 3 cards, proliferate for 5 mana. I think no, I don't think you'd play this. I think this is too expensive for card draw at sorcery speed. I think it's hard to get away with this. And the artifacts. Okay, yeah, this is a good mana fixer. Oh, nice. So this pumps all of the oil counter creatures. Very cool. All right, interesting. It this guy scries for 2 and lets the opponent scry for 1. I do like my artifact creatures that let me scry, but not sure I want to let my opponent scry. Phyrexian Atlas. So, okay, yeah, this is a mana rock and 1 mana of any color. Okay, your opponents start losing life when you tap this. So, should have seen all the cards now. We'll just check in the lands if I missed anything. So there's not actually many cards I've just left out, really. Just over one page. But most of these will be the equipment, the red-white equipment deck. This sort of cares about artifacts. That doesn't do enough. This is quite a good card, I would say. It's probably the best card I've left out. And then we want to just look at what's got the most potential. I noticed we've included 17 green cards. We were thinking about our red rare being particularly good. We've got the 2 copies of Norn's Wellspring as well, so I don't know if we want to play this. The white, the weird thing was the white deck is mostly toxic. It's caring about poison. And then it's got this 1 oil card at rare. And red has got, will be 1. I guess that goes with any counter deck. But red, I think, is more about oil than the toxic ability. Yeah, we really don't have much red, I notice. It will be a shame if we can't play our the set's namesake card. Yeah, we like black's removal. White has just got Planar Disruption, I think. So maybe black-green is actually quite good. But I think let's just cut blue, because we had a look at blue. I wasn't bowled over with it. I think that's the easiest thing. And for a deck, you're going to need 23 cards, so you want at least 11 cards in each color, 10 or 11. You might have artifacts as well. So these have all got enough cards to work. I was quite impressed when I was looking at white, but I think, well, first of all, I think red is lacking. It's just, where are the 2-drops? It's got an incredible bomb here, but not sure we can play it, which is a shame. Cut it for the moment. We might figure out a way of playing red if we can. It's difficult to splash something that's double red. Might come down to the removal. I think I quite like green is usually is going to be the weakest removal card, but getting 2 infectious bites is quite good. Right, let's see what things look like if we drop white. Yeah, we get it trimmed down to 50 cards. And the mana curve's about right. We just need to trim about 10 2-drops. But I think I'll call it there. I'll call it end of part 1. And I'll need a good long think about this. Obviously I've got an incredible red bomb that I'm thinking about dropping. So I might have another look at ways of including this. But yeah, green, black, white all look quite relatively playable. So anyway, thanks for watching so far. And I'm back. So I've had quite a lot of deliberation over what to do. As you can see, I've landed on Orzhov, and the theme here is just poison. I found that this the most synergy I had in just the selection of cards was toxic and poison cards. So it seemed to make sense to find the 2 best colours for that and jam them together. So there's some toxic in green, but there's only about 3 or 4 cards. Green is split between oil and toxic. So it's kind of a good supporting colour sometimes. I'm not able to play any of my rares, I decided. I think I was just looking at Gra's Unstoppable Juggernaut. That's 8 mana. You want to ramp into that or have some way of reanimating it. I don't think it's realistic. Fantastic card, but we'll skip that one. Kethek. This is what it is, a kind of sacrifice strategy, which is interesting. Not much synergy for, well, there is. I do have the white rare, Norn's Wellspring, so that when your creatures are dying, you're getting to scry, put oil counters here, and then you can draw cards off it, which sounds quite good. We're not decided not to play this. Maybe that's a mistake. Yeah, I could play this, I suppose. But it's a kind of, maybe a slightly convoluted card draw thing when I could probably have a bit more just aggression in the deck. Though what I could drop, there are some, I've still had to fit in a few just non-toxic things like Testament Bearer and Cutthroat Centurion. And I think Mandible Justiciar. So potentially could cut those guys for Norn's Wellspring and have a sort of reusable card draw outlet. Though slightly annoying that this is the only oil card in white that I've got. So I tried making an oil deck with red and green. Obviously, so I want to use All Will Be One. The deck I ended up with only had 12 creatures, and it was also it had to use some cards that rely on creatures. So Infectious Bite, for example, and combat tricks like Free from Flesh. So if you want to just jam all the counters together to sort of go for All Will Be One synergy, I think you end up with not such a great deck. I think the guideline is go for about 17 creatures in your deck. So I'm a bit worried about playing 12 creatures when it's sort of all relying on one card to draw to actually kind of get the payoff. This is really good with Churning Reservoir, and I was just thinking Churning Reservoir is pretty good with the Norn's Wellspring. Put oil counters on that, turn it into a card draw thing. So that's interesting. Maybe there's a 3-color or more deck with an oil theme that you could go for in this. But I don't know. There's actually quite a lot of card draw in red. We've got 2 Thrill of Possibility and the Furnace Skull Bomb, and as well as the land you can sacrifice. So you could sort of argue that the card draw can take the place of creatures, and you can try and draw into creatures, you see. But I'm not sure about that. It's like an extra step to get to your creatures when I could just play this aggro deck. So anyway, that's as usual. New set, first sealed feels very complicated. Lots of different options to go for, but I'm almost taking the easy route of going right. Let's find the thing that I have the most synergy for, which is toxic. So that seems to make sense. But I think I'll play this for a bit. Maybe I'll get 2 losses with this, and then have another look at the cards and see if I can make something more ambitious. Because this is the sort of kind of cheap, easy aggro option, I reckon. That's the way you might describe it. Okay, all swamps. We've got 3 black cards. This is 4 mana, so we don't need swamps just yet. Oh, that's nice. That's the card draw card. So 2 drop, 3 drop. Yeah, I think we'll keep this. I think we can get away with this and try and use this to draw into planes if we still need them. Tapped land. Okay, yeah, sack to draw a card. It's another swamp. Swing in. Poison counter. Play the Centurion. Oh, counterspelled. Nice. Okay. Got me there. So he's going 3 colours, and he's got the Scourge. This guy doesn't actually have poison. Okay, we are going to Infectious Inquiry and try and find planes, please. We did not find a planes. Oh well, we'll play a swamp. And we will swing in with a rat. Seems reasonable. You'll die and proliferate and give him extra. Yes, submit 1. Yes, we gave him an extra poison counter. Okay. Well, we're still not finding planes. Never mind. Okay, and that's a 3-drop. Ah, you have 3 or more poison counters. Haha! So we can take this guy out. I think do that now whilst he's tapped out. Makes sense to me. But how many cards have we got into the deck? 13 cards in. No sign of the planes. Unfortunately, he has another one. Oh dear. Well, there's our first planes. Okay. 2-4 is kind of an issue. Has menace as well. Okay. Right. Flensing Raptor. So, here's my idea. Let's play a Duelist of Deep Faith. Okay. We're taking 2 poison counters from that. Oh, what is this? 2-4 flying. Okay. Right. I think I guess we need 2 more power on the board to, and we need another blocker. So we might just go for the double block on this guy, and we'll get completely blown out if he has instant speed removal. I'm going to go for it though. I was lucky, I think. Very lucky indeed. Right, so this gets on counters. Oh yes, a second planes. We can actually do 2 things now. Now I think we can do the whole Indoctrination Attendant thing. Play Crawling Chorus. Okay, yeah, okay, Crawling Chorus. Indoctrination Attendant bounce with the Crawling Chorus. And we're not going to attack. We could have got a reusage of the Flensing Raptor. Enter the board effect. But yeah, I'd have pumped this guy up and given it flying and he just blocked. So I don't think it was all that good. Oh, he's got a lot of things to do. Okay, first of all, that's 2-1 toxic. This is 2-2 flying, 2 all counters. Ah, when things go, his stuff he controls go to the graveyard. This thing gets bigger. That's nice. This thing kills anything. This is exiling, so that is not going to help that thing. So let's take out his big scary creature, which is this one right now. Let's play a Crawling Chorus. Ooh, Flensing Raptor on at my token, I think. Go in like that. First strike should get him. When he gets to 3/3, ah, nice. Well played. No, we did not think of that. Worse, well, first strike actually working against me there. Wonder if this was the right thing to get rid of. So remove 3 all counters, draw a card. Oh my god, it does direct damage. 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Yes, I didn't actually read that paragraph. That's a terrifying card. What is it? Okay, 3 all counters. And a 1/1. Yeah, the 1/1 flying toxic, okay. Oh, beautiful. More removal. I've just drawn all my removal this game. That's ridiculous. Right. Everything can attack, pretty sure. Will he die from poison or from, well, if I win, that is. Or are we going to just get him to 0 life? All of these things have got toxic. Nice, big creature, toxic 2. Something comes back. So he's hitting some important cards here. I've still got the flyer though. That's gonna probably hold back the rest of my team. We could still get 1 through on the ground, but we'd lose something big. It's gonna get a flyer. That makes sense. Another flyer. Doesn't have Death Touch and Lifelink yet. I think we can get, so far we can get through with 2 creatures and get him to 9 poison. Oh my goodness, he has a Planeswalker of Fire of Resistance. So, nice, you can search for a mountain. You can do 3 damage, equal to the number of mountains you control, which is 2. Okay, yeah, well played, you got a Planeswalker. And I've just top decked a land. This is a good, that was a good top deck, and that was a good top deck, I think. Okay. It costs him 3 to do that again. Are we just going to sit back and watch as he builds this up again to 3? Or are we going to lose 2 creatures to kill this now? Yeah, it's a pretty horrible situation. And I'm going to rope. There goes one of my timeouts. So we'll lose this guy. We'll lose the flyer, I would guess. It leaves me pretty defenseless. So this will get through, and that'll get blocked. That'll die. That'll die. Okay, I think I'll risk not attacking, because he's also low on life. Okay, we're just getting back into the game. Another random crash. I will have to do something about this one of these days. At an absolutely crucial point in the game. But we'll see if we've timed out and lost yet. Well, it's putting me back in the game, so... We just played a very powerful Planeswalker. On foot. Okay, everything's dead, first of all. Whisper of the Dross. I've got 3. I like how I've got 3 lands in hand. Beautiful. I did not miss much. And he's just absolutely crushed it. It's gone into the attack phase. Yeah, I guess no attack. So, well, what's happened since last turn? I think he's got another Pestilent Syphoner and a Mercurial Spell Dancer, which is a nice rare. Alright, you can copy stuff if it has oil counters, is what I'm gathering from that. Yeah. Yes, oh, it can't be blocked. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. How many cards has he drawn? Ah, he has drawn 6 more cards than me.
Mirrodin, lend me your flame!
Okie doke, I'm on 8 life. I can block this guy profitably, but what happens if I do that? I take 7, 8, 9 damage. That's the problem, right? Can't block any of these. So block like that to just live one more turn, and then draw my Wrath of God. That's the plan. Oh dear, I don't have a Wrath of God. Well, let's see what happens anyway. I'll draw 11, 12 more cards. Oh, I'll draw another land. That's always good. Always glad to know I had a land on top. Let's see, but was it an unreasonable amount of land? 11 land, 24 cards. Actually, very normal amount of land, I would say. We lost on life and on poison counters there. Very impressive. So I think the plan, well, yeah, main plan is, well, first of all, I've got to actually restart the Magic client. Ah, yes, because I reloaded, and that's what it does to you. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, and we're back. So I have been looking at my my cards again, and I think there's potential for going green, red, blue, oil. because we do have two prophetic prisms and Phyrexian Atlas to help mana fix, and it would mean that we can play the red bomb that I've got, the All Will Be One. We'll have to play a few toxic cards as well, but I'm not sure if I want to do this right now. I think let's give the Orzhov deck one more shot. Just it feels like it should be good. It's sort of fairly low to the ground, and it should just it ought to overwhelm people with poison tokens. It should have a good chance of doing that. And then going to 3 colours is a bit of a roll of the dice. You sort of if you can go 2 colours, then why would you consider going 3 colours? It's a tricky one. But I like the Cinder / Ravager as well. 1 damage to every creature seems important in this set. There's a lot of 1 toughness creatures. There are things like Testament Bearer, which is 4/1, and I'm actually playing. But it replaces itself when it dies, so I think it's worth playing. Yeah. So anyway, it's always interesting playing sealed and having 2 or 3 different decks that you could possibly play. But I think, don't get distracted by the first loss. Let's play this at least one more time. We got in that first game, we lost to. I think he did some good top decking. I think he also had quite a bit more card draw than me, I think. So he had that. He had his bomb, the red planeswalker, which could just sort of serve up lightning bolts. Okay, this looks like a good hand. We've got black and white mana, 2-drop, 2 drops, 3 drops. Yep. Let's give it a shot. I'm just going to check everything's working. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, good. It's a swamp. We'll start with the plains. So we want. Okay. Right, he'll actually put a basic land on top. Quite good. I think we'll go Duelist of Deep Faith. With any luck, he'll have trouble dealing with this. And we can get in for some poison, and then we do have a couple of things. Oh, ho, ho, ho. As long as it's your turn, Duelist of Deep Faith has first strike. I'm glad I read that. I was thinking, why is he attacking? Yeah, it's the old attack on my turn thing. Okay. Cool, Flensing Raptor. Do we need the Flensing Raptor is a good question. I think we could Whisper of the Dross. Kill this with Whisper of the Dross and play a Blightbelly Rat. And he's not gonna block this, right? So, yeah. Whisper of the Dross takes out you in particular. Let's tick. Yes, click on. Okay, right, yeah, it's automatically done like that. And we'll play our rat. He will get in with this, but this does not have toxic, which is interesting. Does he want another land? I wonder. Oh, he's gone 3 colours, you see. But, you know, he had 2 mana fixing creatures. I mean, that's pretty good going. Right, there, I think We'll go with the Flensing Raptor. We'll give the Blightbelly Rat flying. Jump block there. Okay. That's the might token. Yeah, attacking with everything. So we have just a good block there. We're going to take 4 and 1 poison. I'll take advantageous block. We're up to 2 poison. So 3 poison is when things get serious. Everything has toxic, by the way. Oh, toxic 2. Yes, please. Death Touch and Lifelink. He's got everything untapped, so he could have removal in response to my Necrogen Communion. I think this has got Death Touch and Lifelink, so swing in with everything. That's going to get into 6 toxic. This could be a surprise win condition here. We'll go for the Bone Picker Scourge. Got another one. Okay. We've got lifelink. I mean, this is not a great trade, but we could stop him getting to corrupted, which would be 3 poison counters. I don't know, it sort of makes sense to me. Let's swing in with everything. Okay. We can offer Immortality, and that gets Death Touch and Indestructible, so it takes out both of these guys. And I think we'll do the Justicar. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think he knew about that, the existence of that combat trick. He was thinking of maybe a combat trick where I pump my guys up by +2/+2, and then he could obviously trade off. Okay, that's restored a little bit of confidence in this deck to actually get some wins. I think maybe we just stick with this deck and you know, see what happens. The other thing is we've got the 2 edicts that I'm not playing, Sheoldred's Edict, because it doesn't work with my... Obviously, I've got a pacifism in the deck, and I'm paranoid about... Well, I don't think I'm paranoid. I think it's literally going to be bad if I draw those 2 together. But the Edict lets you choose between tokens, between non-token creatures, and planeswalkers. Okay, let's keep this one. We've got the right mana. We even have our 1-drop, who is not toxic, but tap things down later. Okay, it is a tap land. We are ahead. Play this life linker. So they're a bit short on toxic at the moment. This guy's not very good in this deck. I don't think we have any other artifacts, but he's a curve filler. And we're going to swing in again. managed to get 3 of our non-toxic things. What is this? 3-1 toxic 2. Okay. Mana value 3 or less. I think I want to keep attacking with everything, so I'm just going to do the aggro thing. Just take out his first creature. Need another plains for this shepherd. I did the extra land is a plains in this deck. Okay, he's getting a land. He's going to play something big and devastating soon. He's got icy. Yeah, he was missing a swan. So that one's taken out. Okay, that's fair. Okay, let's go for a rat. Start backing up some poison with any luck. He can probably cast everything in his hand now. That's the scary thing, and it's something terrifying. Okay. Yes, the Plague Nurse is pretty nasty. So, but I do have some options. Now we could build up our life total a bit more. We've got the Flensing Raptor. We could send this guy in and get a 3-point life swing. We could send this guy in and start building up Toxic, because it'd be nice to get 3 poison counters. Maybe I've got enough life, and this guy's going to have to just kill me with poison probably at this point. Yes, I think so. Let's send the rat in. Oh, it has to be a creature with toxic. I actually missed that, so it has to be the rat. And we can just rush him potentially and get 5 damage through. He just needs 1 blocker, and he'll be okay. But the Sinew Dancer can tap something down. Okay, nice. He has taken out the flyer. He needed to do that. But I can tap this guy down. Get through with 4 damage. Seems like a good move. Oh my god, is this board wipe? Right, fair enough. Thank goodness, I thought... another Planeswalker, I'm sure this one has a board wipe. Okay, the deck is performing as I'd hoped. I thought, yeah, low to the ground, toxic aggro should do something, right? Right. Good. Good. We're having a good run of getting a 2-drop and a 3-drop in the opening hand. Just have to remember, Flensing Raptor only targets creatures with toxic. That's an easy one to miss. Okay, we are going first, that's good. Now, worried about removal. Actually, I tell you what, we'll go with the Duelist of Deep Faith. Because we want to... Hopefully he doesn't remove this, we can get through and give him a poison counter, and then when we follow up with the rat and that dies, we're giving him another poison counter. That's the reasoning. But if he's got a blocker that can deal with this, I can give it a fly. Ossification. Okay, so yep, he had removal for that. Nice. Well played. I think we have to play a 3-drop, and it's got to be a Bone Picker Scourge, or does it? Blightbelly Rat followed by Flensing Raptor next turn, because we want to get the buff on something, right? We don't want to waste this, so I'm going to play a Blightbelly Rat, even though if it dies, there's nothing to proliferate. We just have to take it on the chin. Okay, he's got 3 colours. Pick a Scourge. Alright. Alright. So, I think this is the Flensing Raptor moment. This gets to be 3/3 and swings in. Then we can double spell next turn. But I feel like I could lose this game because he's got the right colours of mana, I'm assuming, for his deck. So this is an incredible card that I've top decked. Basilica Shepherd. We haven't played it yet. I think I'm okay trading Flensing Raptor for the Scourge. I think that's just a fact of life. He's got green. He might have a combat trick here. There's also we've seen. I've got the black combat trick in this deck myself. So that's the Indestructible and Death Touch. Okay, cool. So the deal with this, we get 2 Phyrexian Mites when we play this, which seems very good indeed. So we're going to do that. Charge of the mites. Oh no, he's got his own mites. Okay, so that's 3 mana. Okay, we are swinging with everything. So these things can't block. Doesn't actually have Toxic. We will play Pestilent Syphoner. Won't pick a Scourge, which has Death Touch and Lifelink. This is a very popular card. Almost everyone's been running this thing. Okay, that did it. That did it. So I think that's at least 50-50 we've got 3 wins. It's always, somehow it's always a relief getting to 3 wins, so I guess the gem reward is quite nice as well. It jumps up by 600 in sealed for that one. Okay, keep going. Okay, 2 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Yes. We could go for the flyer first. That might be harder to deal with, and then if it gets blown up with the removal spell they've got in their hand, I don't feel so bad about following up with the Blightbelly Rat. Because you feel bad when this gets blown up and they don't have any poison counters yet. So I think, and we've top decked another one, so he might just go for the 1/1 flyers here. It just means if he is playing black and he's got the -1/-1 removal card. Okay, he has got that one. Alright. First strike on his turn. Okay, I think we're racing at this point. What are we doing? Playing a Swamp. Are we playing a Cutthroat Centurion? And are we going to sacrifice the Syphoner to block this? Yes. Yeah, we're playing this. I am just scared, obviously, that's a big deal. If we sacrifice another creature and he has instant speed. Okay, no, he's got the Flensing Raptor. Fair enough, that's fair. And then, of course, it means my Syphoner looks pretty silly and can't do anything. Okay. My turn. Okay, so we could play 2 creatures. Now, Cutthroat Centurion could do that again. Just stay back and try and block, assuming he doesn't have another Flensing Raptor. We could play 2 Blightbelly Rats. Because Syphoner doesn't look very good right now. Testament Bearer looks terrible, because it's going to die to first strike. Yeah, okay. So I think we have to have a bit of a pause, and I'm going to play my 2 rats. To attackers. That's going interesting. So yeah, he doesn't want me to get through with this. So nope. Past the blockers. I always fall for that one. Past the blockers. Okay, yeah, 1 blocker, and let's sacrifice a Syphoner. That's what I'm thinking. See if he's got some combat trick action. He does. He has the Offer Immortality. Boom. Oh well. He got me. So, we can take out his flyer here, which seems good to me, and then I get through with 2 toxic, and I can play another flyer. So, let's go for that, and just try and outrace him. He got a nice 2-for-1 there. Oh, he can bounce the Flensing Raptor, of course. Okay. That doesn't do enough, does it? Proliferate. It gets the attendant down to 2-3. So he's going to give something flying next turn, but never mind. Okay, so Syphoner goes through. And we'll play the Testament Bearer, and then at least that can trade with the Indoctrination Attendant. But yeah, it's if he's got Whisper of the Dross for this guy, I'll feel pretty bad. But yeah, that's the he's had all the answers. He had this combat trick when he needed it, and he had the answer to pacifism. I mean, it's called Planar Disruption, but it's basically pacifism. So yeah, he's doing pretty well here. Has to be a toxic creature, of course, but they all have toxic. Right, yeah, may as well send that in. Keep the rest on defense. Makes sense. A lot of sense. Right. Can't cast Basilica Shepherd yet. He doesn't have first strike on defense, so we can swing with a Testament Bearer. That is instant speed, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, oh cool, he's going to trade there. Fair enough. Cool, I'll get my one of those. Although, could have taken the planes, couldn't I? Do we want to bounce a rat? Yeah, I'm going to bounce a rat. I think that's reasonable. Maybe you're supposed to wait until your opponent does Planar Disruption. But it seems like the best option. I could hold up mana for Whisper of the Dross to kill its might. Alright, he's going for it with the flyer. What on earth is this? Okay, he's brought back the Duelist with that. And that has Toxic too, and it's 4/4. It's a disaster. Okay, we want to keep up 1 black mana, so I think, let's see, do we just attack in the air? I say we attack in the air. I say we play a Crawling Chorus. Blightbelly Rat again. And we end the turn. Okay, another Flensing Raptor, so he's going to get through with maybe the Might. In which case I have an instant response. Or just the 4/4, yeah, the 4/4 is going to get through. Then my life total's looking pretty flaky. Seven damage and toxic 3 as well. Duelist is back. My feeling is I want to use Whisper of the Dross now to take out his might, just to be mana efficient. It doesn't take out a blocker though, but it gets his poison up to 6. He has 3 blockers. That gets through. No, that does not get through. What am I talking about? I have 6 things that do poison, and he's got 3 blockers, right? Okay, I think I'll take out his might. Submit 1, yeah. So you go up to 6 poison. I've got the Basilica Shepherd as well to try and defend with. So we think if these die, they do poison anyway. So it's just yeah, if I attack with everything and don't kill him, he just needs to block 3 of them. He goes to 9 poison, and he doesn't die. Right? This is another flying blocker. Right, let's just think about what we want to do here. We're going to get another blocker in the air to try and just stop his damage getting through. So the thing with the rats, when they die, he gets poison anyway. So I think we just attack with the rats. Then we're going to have 4 blockers. Okay, maybe... Actually trades there, which is quite cool. Submit 1. Submit 1. Play Basilica Shepherd. Do I have enough blockers to just not die? Fingers crossed I do. Because I should have enough attackers next turn to get through. 7 attackers, 4 blockers, and everything is toxic, right? Yeah. He's got 4 cards in hand. If he's got 2 removal spells, he wins. He kills my 2 flyers, and he does 4 damage and wins. If he has another Flensing Raptor, that wouldn't be enough on its own. If he had 2 Flensing Raptors, that would win. Yeah, I don't think not attacking with the rats would have helped. I think it's all about the flying blocker situation. feeling this Basilica Shepherd was pretty good. Making 2 creatures is not bad. Now he's really thinking about it. He did not go to an attack phase. That's a relief for me. He's got 1 more blocker. He's got 2 more blockers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? Yeah, so I've got... I have 1 more. That's huge. Yeah, so nice 6/6 creature. Right, we can add another blocker. I just double check. I don't have the win on the board here. 5, 6, 7. He's got 6 blockers. They can all block. He can block me in the air with his 2 guys. Okay, right. Play my creature. And then next turn maybe I can win, right? Because I only get through with 1 poison. I don't have any other clever ways of increasing poison. No attacks. Okay, okay. Maybe I missed a win somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be the first time. Very tense game, gotta say. This guy, he can let this through because it does not have toxic. That is the only problem. So I don't have a winning board state still. Another creature, that's got menace and toxic too. That's like 2 attackers. So that is a pretty good addition. Now we're talking. Okay, Flensing Raptor means I can have 3 flyers. Means I can get through. I can get 1 toxic through in the air, right? But it takes away a ground attacker. That's the only problem. Right, so these 3 flyers attack, and then on the ground I could attack with 4, but he's got 4 blockers on the ground. And then the swing back, well, I'll have 2 flyers to block with. Okay, let's Flensing Raptor. And I'm thinking I might, because I need these other guys for blocking. I could attack like that, you know. And he's got to block at least 1 of them. This ensures that he gets another poison counter. But oh no, I think I hold this back as an emergency blocker. I think that makes sense. I think that's a good attack. Got 3 flying blockers. Yeah, we do have this problem. I might have miscalculated somewhere, but he's got to trade off one of these, unless he's got the combat trick that keeps it alive. So I'm only sending in 1 potential blocker. He's already had 1 Offer Immortality, so that's going to trade there. Does he have an Offer Immortality? No, he's got Complete Devotion. Okay. Oh! Well, I misplayed. This guy does not have Toxic. That's what I forgot. Ah. Nice. Well, he drew a card off that. Well played. Still, we've teased a combat trick out of his hand. It gave him card advantage, which is fair enough. Quite a tense game, I've got to say. So I need how many blockers? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got how many blockers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only got 5 blockers. This might be a problem. Can we let this guy through? That would get me to 9 poison and 2 life. Oh dear. Oh dear, I think he's won. So I probably did need that blocker, as it turned out. I was relying on him not having a combat trick, and he did have one. So he kept one of these guys alive and killed my dude. So I think I'm in trouble here. He just has to attack with everything. He should be able to work it out as well. I've got no cards in my hand. So, yeah, I'm dead. Oh, Flensing Raptor. Okay, gives something else flying. But I do have... I can block with this guy, though. This guy has lifelink. That gets me to 6 life. Now, is that important? Or does just everything here? Yeah, I think... No, just 2... Trouble is, this guy does Toxic too, I think. I think that's the problem I've got. So you can't sort of let him through and another Toxic. I can't let this through because it does too much damage. What's he attacking with? Just attacking with that. Okay. Fair enough. This Death Touch is quite useful. I think I've got to trade the Raptor here. I mean, he's got a lot of flyers now. He got 3 Flensing Raptors. That's pretty good going. Yeah, I'm going to block here because I am now no longer confident in my ability to get through. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I've only got 1 more creature than him. That gives him a might as well. So his board is continuing to increase. So yeah, I don't think I can break through. I think he's got me here. Just end turn. And just pretend I've got a really good combat trick. That's the game. Nice. Naked Onslaught. Yeah, he had quite a lot of card advantage there. The two Black Paladins bringing creatures back was pretty cool. The cantrip that gave him, yeah, the combat trick that gave him card advantage was pretty cool. That's what I'm lacking in my deck, I think. Okay, it's not such a good hand, but we're going to keep it. Yeah. I did not want to see that. Fifth land. What's he got here? Double Strike Toxic 1. That's terrifying. Right. So the way this works, this will apply 2 poison counters, won't it? Seems like a good target for Whisper of the Dross. I think I have to just kill this because I could trade with this guy, or I could risk. Okay, let's try and go for the trade. It's probably a terrible idea. But this is a good target for Whisper of the Dross. It's just we'll miss out on the proliferate thing. Just see if he's got his opening removal card, as they usually do. Oh, I completely missed that. Yes, this is a removal card. I thought it was card draw, but it is removal. Okie doke. You bounce something and draw a card with it. Nice. Yeah, I missed that one. Okay, maybe. Well, he's got blue. The chances are he's got some flyers, so I don't think this will be as good. We'll play the duelist. I could kill this now whilst he's tapped out, but I'll see if he uses another removal spell on this duelist first. It's quite an. It's sort of. This will induce him to like cast another removal, I think, and then I can. Okay, there we go. He just gained control of it. Nice. It's pretty insane. Yeah, not much I can do about that, but I can Whisper of the Dross on this. I will not give myself an extra poison counter. We will try a Duelist of Deep Faith. So yeah, this is any control magic style spell is an automatic 2-for-1. I lose a creature, they gain a creature. They have only spent 1 card to do it. Are you kidding me? So that's literally the one removal card I can't deal with. because this doesn't give hexproof. What an what an absolute pain. Never mind. It's like he knew. Right, oh look, another land. Okay. Another Planar Disruption, maybe. We'll go for it. One blocker. But he's got a whole... He's got 4 mana, he's got 5 cards. He might have something. But no. We get away with it. Kill our own creature that he controlled. Okay, he's gonna... Oh, I see. It's any permanent, so you can bounce the land and replay it. I didn't even think of that. Can we really block these things? No, I think we just swing in with this Syphoner. Like that. So yeah, we hit 7 land in 13 cards, so over 50%. It's not ideal, and my opponent's just had card advantage, non-stop card advantage. In the meantime, so that's oh yeah, that one is flying. Of course, he's got his Flensing Raptors. Of course. Okay, so I can kill something that's mana value 3. We could get through with some poison here. I think that might be the best policy. Try and get him to 3 poison, so then the next one I draw, I can take out the attendant. Sure. Another poison token. He's managed to draw 2 of these lovely card draw things. And that, oh, actually that's so that is basically another form of Flensing Raptor, another way of pumping up his mites. So we're taking 7 damage, we're going up to 9 poison as well. I think probably ought to chomp block here, then it'll proliferate and I can give him a poison counter. Not an ideal situation. So can we get away with going to 9 poison? Then we need to... Well, we're losing a blocker and he's going to get 2 guys through. I think I'll do no blocks because I survive. I just go to 9 poison, 4 life. Then what does this guy do? I assumed it was going to... So it makes another creature. Nice. No attacks and turn. 3/3. Makes a 3/3. Fair enough. Oh wow, okay, it's permanently a 4/4. Sure. That's reasonable. So it's a much better version of Flensing Raptor, in other words. Right. So got to block all the toxic guys. That's basically the deal. So I'm not going to die due to poison, at least. Okay, well, we ended up 50-50. That went okay. Just look at the deck now. So I did a few. I went through all the cards, of course, but also I did a search for toxic and poison. Just looking for the most synergistic combination. Also oil as well, and it's just poison and toxic ran one out. It just had more cards, and it just seems with the more things with toxic you have and poison, the better, because it's a win condition. So that seemed to make sense. There was also an oil deck with blue, red, and green. But I thought I'll rather go for 2 colours than 3, even if I can play a really strong rare in red. If you look at red, we've got all will be 1. So whenever you put 1 or more counters on something, all will be 1 deals that much damage to target opponent creature or planeswalker. So it's absolutely insane. But it made more sense to go for this sort of low to the ground aggro deck this time. Anyway, let's grab the prize. Anyway, I think that is a video, so thanks for watching.